Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads Mahabharata 168. As you may remember, Bhima found those flowers that Draupadi wanted. It was in the garden of Kubera. Rakshasas were guarding it. Bhima walked into the garden. The Rakshasas saw him as an intruder. They approached him and said, "Who are you that dares to enter this garden? This belongs to Kubera, and no one's allowed to enter the garden." Bhima was impatient. He said, "I'm Bhima, the Pandava. My wife Draupadi found one of these beautiful flowers and she wanted some more of them. So I have come to pluck them for her." The Rakshasas would not let him do so. They said, "These flowers belong to the king. No one's allowed to touch them. If you want them, you can go to our king and ask him for permission." Bhima said, "No. Why should I ask permission of your king? Why should I beg? I'm a kshatriya. I cannot ask favors of others. These flowers are on the surface of the river. The river does not belong to anyone, and neither do the flowers that grow on the surface of the river. Of course, I will pluck the Sogandhika flowers for my Draupadi, and nobody can stop me." He walked towards the banks of the river. The Rakshasas attacked him. Bhima was furious. He killed most of them with his hands and his mace. He plucked as many flowers as he could, and no one could stop him. Kubera was told about the human being who was entering the river like a wild elephant. Kubera laughed and said, "That must be Bhima. Let him pluck the Sogandhika flowers. Do not fight with him. He's a friend." They came back to the riverbank and gave Bhima the message of the king. He was pleased with the affection of Kubera. In the meantime, Yudhishthira and Draupadi were getting worried about the prolonged absence of Bhima. They set out with Ghatotkacha and went in the direction which Bhima had gone. Ghatotkacha traveled fast, and soon they reached the garden of Kubera. There they saw the many Rakshasas who had been killed by Bhima. They saw him, too, sitting on the riverbank, his arms full of flowers. Yudhishthira ran to him and embraced him with affection. Kubera came there and received them with great honor. He requested them to spend some days with him. They did. Yudhishthira now wanted to go further north. He was discussing it with Bhima. A voice from the heavens spoke, "You are not to go further than this. You must return to Badri. You will find Arjuna on the earth very soon." According to the command of the voice from above, they retraced their steps to Badri. They lived there happily, but very impatiently. They were counting the days that had to pass before they could see Arjuna. Chapter 13, The Return of Arjuna. As the days passed by, their impatience grew. It seemed as though they could not live another day without seeing Arjuna. The surroundings of the ashram where they lived were very picturesque. It was fortunate for them, since they spent most of their time in walking around in the forest. The trees were draped in garments of flowers of 1,000 hues. For the first time during their exile, Draupadi was happy. She spent hours together looking at the flowers and the trees. Her heart would dance with joy. Looking at her joy, Bhima would please her with gifts of rare flowers collected from places which she could not reach. But all the time their hearts were thinking of Arjuna, and only Arjuna. It was now 5 years since they had last seen him. Their impatience was unbearable. Every day and every night looked like a year to them. They were wandering about in the forest as usual one day. They saw a strange sight. The top of the mountain was lit up by a strange, unearthly light. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.